What is up, my Card Kingdom family? Kenji back for some more drafting here on the streets of Magic Online, and we finally have some Brothers War available to us. The set fully released online today as of this recording, but the pre-releases were in paper beforehand this time, so some of you might have already had a chance to fully play it at your LGSs and whatnot. Anyways, we're going to jump into our first pack here, pick one, pack one, as text on all the cards is lengthy, and so we want to go over the good cards. Lots of reprints in this format. These are like some retro flashback cards. We've seen them before. A lot of them are powerful. Some things like Worm Coil Engine are in the format. A lot of the others are kind of just filler. We opened a Key to the City, a fine card for an aggro deck. What does this one do? Whenever you cast a beast or a bird creature, you may copy it, except the copy is an artifact in addition to its other types. I have no idea how many birds or beasts are in this format. I'm assuming Thanos is more of a like commander card, but I think I'm going to take it and maybe see if we can do something around that. So be on the lookout maybe for beasts and birds. I'm sure there are a lot of beasts in the format, but I think blue-green Power Stone Ramp is one of the more powerful strategies in Brothers War anyways. Falaji Vanguard, a very, very good red-white aggro card if you wanted to do that. You'll notice that on theme, a lot of the cards in this format are going to be artifacts. There's a bunch of new abilities like Prototype. Prototype lets you cast the creature for a reduced cost, usually with a reduced power and toughness, but it still maintains all the abilities. To note, there are no beasts or birds in this pack here. You'll see the retro being the Ornithopter. I assume this is decent. This is a 4-mana 2/5 that gets plus X plus O when it attacks, or a different creature. I guess we'll try taking that. The nice thing about these prototype cards is that they're usually playable on their front end, their cheaper side of things. And then when and if you get to the upper casting cost, they're still just very, very good, you know? They're kind of like kicker cards in a sense. Chromatic Star, the retro card here. That's a fine card. Filler for any deck. Skyfisher Spider, fantastic. Black-green is the self-mill strategy, and so I'm going to be taking this one here. So 3/3 reach. When it ETBs, you can sack another creature. When you do, destroy target non-land permanent. So creature, artifact, that type of thing, pretty good. And then when it dies, you can gain a bunch of life too. And because again, green-black is the self-mill theme, you often can gain quite a few life there. So it's just a solid uncommon. Any of these type of effects, exile target artifacts, are going to be fantastic. Disenchant's a reprint in this format, for example. The green one, the shoot down here, is fantastic because of the exile. And there are a bunch of unearth cards in the format in addition to flyers. So something to keep note of there. But I'm going to go ahead and take the Skyfisher. I think that card looks great. A couple more of these prototype cards. Falaji Dragon Engine. Boulder Branch Golem. This pack doesn't look too good to me. I think the Golem probably makes the most sense. So 4 mana, 3/3, gain 3 life. Or 7 mana, 6/5, gain 6 life. And again, there are a lot of Power Stone producers in the format. So you'd be surprised at how easily it is to actually get up to these top-end amounts of mana. None of these are beasts, right? This is a worm. Beast or bird. I got to keep a lookout for the beasts and bird if we do end up playing the Thanos after all for the fun of it. Okay, a Gnawing Vermin here. What is this one? Enters the battlefield, target player mills 2 cards. So usually you want to do this on yourself. And then when it dies, target creature you don't control gets -1/-1. Kind of filler. Ichor Wellspring, the retro card, actually has some utility in this format, as there are ways to like sacrifice an artifact and get value. Levitating Statue. Notably, this does not need to be a creature to get the +1/+1 counters on it. What is this? Killzone Acrobat. 3 mana, 3/2. Whenever it attacks, you can sacrifice another creature artifact. If you do, it gains flying. That seems more filler. Scrapwork Rager. So this is the kind of the Phyrexian Rager artifact version, which has Unearth, although it does cost 4 mana as a base, but I do think I'm going to take it here. Seems like good value. And that's a fantastic sign. We're getting, what is this, a pick 6 Skyfisher Spider number 2. Beautiful. Here's one of the bigger Power Stone producers in the format. 5 mana, 3/2. When it ETBs, make a tapped Power Stone for each creature you control. Kind of fun. Another shoot down going around as well, but I think we're just kind of going to commit to the black-green like self-mill. Ooh, and this is another really, really good sign for green. I think this might be green's best common. It's a 3 mana, 3/2 that makes a Power Stone when it enters. So, yeah, it just very, very good. Okay, that's fantastic. Tower Worker is kind of funny. There's a Power Plant Worker, a Tower Worker, and a Mine Worker. So, flavorful for the Urzatron. But yeah, getting this 7th pick is a huge sign for green. Kind of sucks that I've had to pass 2 of those shoot downs, but I think the start that we have here is very, very good. I'm guessing I'm going to end up cutting this Thanos. Bird and Beast. All right, well, we'll keep an eye out. Because you end up with so many artifacts in this format, oftentimes it's kind of easy to, well, at least from my limited experience, limited, it's pretty easy to end up splashing different colors just because so much of your deck is going to be colorless anyways, but do have to make note of all the prototype cards for their alternate costs, of course. All right, on to our next pack. What is this? Fateful Handoff. Draw cards equal to the mana value of target artifact or creature you control, and opponent gains control of that permanent. Seems pretty bad. Flash, ETB, target creature you control gets +2/+2, and then sack it to draw a card. It's like a kind of weak combat trick. I'm just going to take the Aeronaut's Wings here. I don't expect to play any of these cards, but in green-black you do have a lot of fatties as well, so being able to move around some evasion can't be that unplayable. Notice a Giant Growth reprint, kind of nice. Sataniel Stalwart, I don't think this is good, but it's probably not unplayable. I don't know, 1 mana, 1/1s in limited need to do something special, and I don't think this one's quite good enough. I'll take the Thran Power Suit here. I don't know how to feel about this one. It's 2 mana to play, 2 to equip, and your creature gets +1/+1 and gains Ward 2. I guess I'd rather just take the Giant Growth. Never mind. Carrion Locust. Yeah, 3 mana, 2/1 flyer that has some graveyard synergy. I could also take the Power Plant Worker in hopes of getting... actually, I guess the Power Plant Worker makes more sense. Right? No, I'm going to take the Carrion Locust. I lied. I don't know. I don't think there was necessarily a wrong choice there. I hate these type of cards, but there are a few different ways to give hexproof at instant speed. There's a green one called Gaia's something, and then there's this white one called Lauren's Escape. Good trick. Very annoying. Another really annoying thing in this format, and you know we could potentially see it later on, there is the retro reprint of Swiftfoot Boots. So there is a really, really problematic way to give your creatures, or maybe your opponent has it, to give creatures hexproof just very, very easily, and a way to do it that you can do it to multiple creatures because you can move it around since it's equipment. But hopefully we don't have to play against that card. Another Thran Power Suit. So what we didn't see, there's a black removal spell at instant speed that exiles a creature, and it costs 1 less for each creature in your graveyard. It's a common. I didn't see that. I didn't actually see too many self-mill ways, surprisingly. What is this thing? Platoon Dispenser. It's a mythic. 5 mana, 4/6. At the beginning of your end step, if you control 2 or more other creatures, draw a card. Holy crap. And then a white and 3, create a 1/1 soldier. Okay, well that's a bomb for sure. Some of these cards I've never seen, of course. I've probably done 5, maybe 10 drafts tops at this point. That card is nasty. So this will be a reason to run just some random white fixing. I don't think I'm going to need to play 2 white sources for the Unearth, but just throwing in a random, like Evolving Wilds and a Plains will probably be decent. Passing another Spider here kind of sucks. Clearly not going to pass this one. And this is a construct, so self-assembler, here's our retro card this time. Only searches for other assembly workers. Really solid pack here for us. We have, I think, like 4 good choices. Here's that exile card I was talking about, the instant speed one, which is probably going to be our pick. Oh, here's the hexproof green card, Gaia's Gift. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. It gains reach, trample, hexproof, and indestructible. Yeah, that's fun. Power Stone Fracture, another good removal spell in black. You just have to sack an artifact or creature. And Energy Refractor, that was the other card I was going to point out. Kind of like the Prophetic Prism of the format. It draws a card when it enters, and then you can filter 2 mana into 1 color of any type. But yeah, we'll just take the Remorse here. Go for the Throat, looks pretty good. Although obviously, because the format does have so many artifact creatures, this isn't maybe as good as you would think it is, but still it is a solid enough card. There are still I mean, I didn't do the exact math, but I know there are a good number of cards that this is still a good removal spell to take. Passing another Rager, Ravenous Gigamole, pretty fun for the self-mill deck. Tower Worker for some ramp. Let's take the removal here. Jeez. How many of these spiders are going to go around, I wonder? Huh. Battlefield Butcher, another fantastic uncommon. We might want to take that instead. 3 mana 1/4 that, well, you can tap to make each opponent lose 2 life, and then the more creatures in your graveyard, the cheaper that ability becomes. Disfigure is a common here as a reprint you might notice. Argothian Sprite, pretty annoying 2-drop. Hoarding Recluse, 2/3 reach Death Touch, another Rager. Even Hero of the Dunes could be splashable since we already want another white source anyways. Since this only brings back 3 or less, we probably don't want it, but yeah, crazy pack. I mean, maybe I just take another Spider. Maybe Spider is better than Butcher, but I'm going to try the Butcher. So now we just need some cheap creatures to kind of sack away, or some more self-mill. Like, I wonder if just playing this Combat Courier is, like, okay. Probably is. Let's see, Gixian Infiltrator is, I guess, okay for the sacrifice theme of things. I think red-black is supposed to be sacrifice, though. Stone Retrieval Unit, 4 mana, 2/3 that makes a Power Stone. That can just go into any deck. Oh, I didn't even notice there was an Epic Confrontation here. Here's another reprint that you might recognize. This one, decent enough removal. Yeah. Almost glossed over that at first. Gix's Caress. I think this card is actually pretty solid too. Oh, you know what we're going to want to pick up? These Clay Revenants. At least one of them. They're fantastic with the Skyfisher Spider, and they're good with Self-Mill. Springleaf Drum, the retro frame here. Blue-black is the Draw 2 theme. So Evangel of Synthesis is fantastic, but I think I like this more. You look at opponent's hand, you make them discard a card, and then you make a Power Stone. Can't go wrong with that for 3 mana. Yeesh. Another Evangel of Synthesis. This actually seems pretty fine in our deck for the sacrifice theme. 1 mana, 1/1. When it dies, you gain 2 life, but you can sacrifice it, exile target non-creature artifact or non-creature enchantment. There are a lot of hits for that, so I don't think this is a bad 1/1 to play. Oh, a Burnished Heart. It's a nice little reprint if we want that. Disfigure here as well. Here's a Hoarding Recluse if we wanted another Spider. Do we want the Disfigure or the Burnished Heart? I guess the Burnished Heart makes a little bit of sense since I have the Platoon Dispenser and want to run like 1 planes. We'll do that. Okay, how's my removal looking? We have Remorse. We have 2 Spiders. Hand Disruption with Gix's Caress. We have the Go for the Throat. Oh my gosh. We wield the other Spider. Yeah, so green-black is just clearly the place to be. This is my 3rd Spider now? What the heck? Yeah. Really need to pick up that 1-drop that you can just bring back to your hand. Just way too much synergy here. What's not to like about this? 3/3 reach, ETB, sack another creature, kill a creature, or any non-land permanent for that matter. And then when this dies, you can gain a bunch of life. So, huh. I guess we're just in the right seat, or we've chosen the right colors. Creature count's 13. You know what I don't have, and I mentioned this earlier, as we get a nice little Gaia's gift here. Oh, actually, maybe Energy Refractor for some fixing. There's a 2-drop in this format that's part of a cycle, but 2-drop in green that's part of a cycle that mills 3, and then you can return a land to your hand. And if you do, it enters as a 1/1. If you don't, it enters as a 2/2 or something. I guess I'll point it out if we see one. I'm going to take the gift there over the Energy Refractor. I think the Energy Refractor would only help with this, right? Like, if you could sack an artifact to the Skyfisher, maybe that would be too good. I guess you can technically an artifact creature, but not you can't sack like a Power Stone. Speaking of the Mill 3 cycle, this is the Ravenous Gigamole. So this is the black one. So either a 4-mana 2/3 that returns a creature that you milled with it to your hand, and we wheeled the other one too. What on earth? How? Holy crap, I don't need this many 4-drops. So a couple of things I need to pick up. The 1-drop I was talking about that can rebuy, but then we also need to get some like... there are a couple Grave Dig effects. 4 Skyfisher Spiders, nuts. I'm not reading this card wrong, right? It's just good? What are people doing? Okay. Soul Partition, exile target, non-land permanent for as long as... I mean, that's not a bad removal spell in white. It can like set your opponent back. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose an artifact or creature from it, then choose an artifact or chosen... or creature card from their egg. Wait, for the wait, isn't this just good? They reveal their hand. You choose an artifact or creature, then choose an artifact or creature from their graveyard and exile both for 1 mana. Huh. Oh, wait, is this one of those cards where they have to have a card in their graveyard for you to cast this? No, I don't think so. It just says target opponent reveals their hand. Yeah, you only have to target them. Wow. I mean, there's an Argothian Opportunist here, which, again, I think is just one of the best, if not the best, green common, but... that seems pretty good. Gaia's Courser is also great. 5 mana, 4/5. Whenever it attacks, if there are 3 more creatures in your graveyard, you get to draw a card. Shoot, I don't know what to take here. I guess I'll take the Courser, but I have no idea if that's right. We have another Battlefield Butcher if we want to. A Disfigure. There's a Power Stone Fracture. Gruesome Realization. 3 mana, draw 2, lose 2, or make opponents your creatures control get -1/-1. That's solid. Burrowing Razormaw for the mill theme. The Goring Warplow is pretty good too. You can play this as a 2 mana 1/1 Death Touch or a 6 mana 5/4 Death Touch later on. Crazy, crazy pickups. I guess I want the... I don't know, Disfigure here? I'm not actually sure. We need to make some cuts here. Like maybe Locust is filler. Honor Guard's filler. This is good with the sacrifice theme we have going on. Yeah, I don't know. Too many good choices. I guess I'll just take the cheap removal since we don't have much cheap interaction. There is a Blanchwood Armor, also part of a cycle in the format. Soul Guide Lantern, pretty good. Again, lots of graveyard synergies in the format, so I guess I'm going to take that as a sideboard card over like the Mine Worker. Oh, okay. This, I want to note, is so crazy. This card is so busted. 2 mana, 1/2. Whenever an artifact enters the battlefield in your control, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land, you can put it in your hand. If you don't, you can put it in your graveyard. Now, I don't have many artifacts in my deck, but this card, it can go insane. I've had this a few different times, and every time it's just been an all-star. Like, I'm still going to take it here. Let's see. We have 1 artifact, 2. This makes a Power Stone 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So definitely still worth it. This is one of the best uncommons in the format, for sure. What is this? Create 3 power stones, you gain 3 life, but that's 5 mana? I don't think that's good. Stoneseeker is another really good 2-drop uncommon. 2/2 menace for 2. Then when it ETBs, you make a power stone, and when it dies, you sack a power stone. So lots of good value there because, yeah, just a good 2-mana ramp spell effectively. I don't think we really want any of these cards. I mean, I guess I'll take another 2-drop for the sideboard just in case. Okay, there is a Clay Revenant. That's the one of the cards we were looking for. You can return it from your graveyard to your hand, so kind of nice for the Skyfisher value. Another Iron Claw Crusher here. Probably okay. Let's see, there's a Wasteful Harvest. Mill 5, you may put... You know what? I mean, I guess we're not actually that much of the green-black mill deck. We're more of like green-black sacrifice, if anything. We have some cards that take advantage of cards in my graveyard, but I wouldn't really say we're the self-mill theme anymore. I don't even know if we want 2 Crushers. Again with another Ichor Wellspring, but I don't think that's useful here. Okay, the Dreams of Steel and Oil wield, so I'm going to try playing that. I think this is really solid. As long as I'm not reading this incorrectly, which has been known to happen. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose an artifact or creature, then choose an artifact or creature from their graveyard. Exile the chosen. Yeah, that just seems good. Obviously, cards like this aren't great to top deck later on, but there are a lot of expensive spells in the format, so because of all the prototypes, like if you still draw this on turn 7 or 8, your opponent might still have a fat card in their hand, you know? The Warplow also came back. We want that. Sheesh. I can probably sideboard in Blanchwood Armor versus somebody that doesn't have much removal. I mean, a 3/3 for 3 that gets bigger when you play an artifact is not bad too. This deck looks good. I don't know. I haven't done much draft, but this deck looks good to me. What can I end up cutting here? I think we need to cut some number of these. I think I like that. I guess I don't need these Crushers. Maybe these aren't good enough. And Patrol also seems a little bit filler. Maybe we can run the Intervention over the Giant Growth. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. This just looks really good to me. Kind of a weird curve. How many ways do I have to ramp, though? We have 1 ramp, 2 ramp, 3 ramp. Yeah, I probably need to... Well, I mean, this is a 2-drop, and I can play these as 4s. But I guess cutting 1 Crusher is probably fine. And then... Is this too many tricks still? I have Gift, I have Intervention. Maybe the Dreams of Steel and Oil just isn't good enough. I don't know. I'm pretty sure this card's good, but I just need cuts, and that seems like the easiest card to cut because my other cards do stuff. So like I said, I think 1 Plains is probably okay. I didn't end up getting an Evolving Wilds, but our mana base is going to be pretty good, so like 8/8/1 should be completely reasonable. Yeah, all right. I mean, I think this looks good, but who knows? We'll see how it plays out. This is more green-black sack than green-black graveyard. So let's go to round 1 and try to beat some face. Okay, here we are for round 1 of this Brothers War draft. We are on the draw with a sad 1-lander. Go down to 6, and yeah, that's a lot better. Let's pitch one of the spiders since we have, well, 2 others in our deck anyways. Want a 2-drop for the spider. GLHF. You know, I guess maybe since we have 4 of these, I should just be running like all of those random 2-drops that I have in my deck. Maybe those are better than running like some of the big prototype creatures that we have in the deck. They played a Gixian Skullflayer. That's not for the mill deck, though. Ooh, there's our Clay Revenant. That's a good draw. Kind of wish we had kept the other Spider now. So they play a Ravenous Gigamole. Sure. And they milled 2 lands and another Gigamole. Okay, they might just kind of chain off there. See if they want to return that first one to their hand. They did not. Oh, they made it a 3/4. Okay. So let's play the Spider and then sack our Revenant. And I guess we'll kill the Gigamole first, since we have a Death Toucher anyways, and they still need 1 more creature in their graveyard before that even starts getting large. So next turn I get to play the Platoon Dispenser and then draw a card at the end of my turn. Is that right? Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's still better to kill the Skullflayer since since they're going to become a problem soon enough anyways. And they welded a Gigamole back. Okay. Another Spider, sure. Alright, well, let's just play the Dispenser past, start drawing extra cards. We do, again, have 1 Plains in the deck, but still just good enough as a 5-mana 4/6, draw me an extra card every turn if they don't kill it. Next turn we can play out the Steel Seeker, return the Revenant to our hand, and then play the Revenant and get a Steel Seeker trigger. That's pretty nice. I don't actually know what my plan is to win the game, but I mean, I suppose if they don't kill the Dispenser, we're just going to win that way. We needed like 1 of these in our deck. We don't have any of the emergency welds. Oh, they have a Gix's command. Blech. So they decided to put 2 counters on that and give it lifelink in addition to making me sack my Dispenser. That's too bad. Okay, well, let's just go for value. Return Revenant to our hand. Play out the Steel Seeker. Play out the Revenant. Get a trigger. And we will put the Rager in the graveyard. Nice, good value there. So here comes their other mole, presumably. Yeah. They milled a Rager, a land, and one of the Reanimate effects. So that puts 2 creatures in their graveyard. This might actually be a good match to bring in the wings. Looks like the ground game is going to get really, really gummed up here. So they just have to decide if they want to return that Rager to their hand. They did. Okay. And then they go for the throat on my Spider. Yeah, we'll go ahead and exile it, gain a couple life. Sure. So if we trade here, they don't have 3 creatures in their graveyard, so that other one's not going to start growing yet. That's a good draw. So I need 4 mana to unearth that, so I would need 8 mana to unearth it and then Spider it. So I guess instead what I'm just going to do is Well, actually, they only have that Rager in their hand. I could go a little bit greedy and just play out the Burnished Heart here and hope to hit a land. Let's do that. Let's play the Burnished Heart and hope there's a land on top of our library to draw with Steel Seeker. Yes, perfect. And then we can play out Spider, sack the Revenant, kill the Flare. And we're looking pretty good. Next turn we get to play a 6/5, gain 6. Triggers our Steel Seeker. Now we can probably even start attacking here pretty soon. Oops. Alright, so they drew Curate for the turn. Surveil 2, then draw. And looks like they kept them both, whatever they were. Alright, there's the Rager we knew about. And I don't think we mind trading here, right? Alright. Let's play out our 6/5, gain 6, trigger the Steel Seeker. Do we want to put Disfigure in the graveyard? Yeah, that doesn't seem good enough to keep. I think I might upkeep, sacrifice my Burnished Heart, and thin out my deck, depending on what they do here. Alright, they just played a 5/4 Death Toucher. Yeah, let's do that. I'll go grab the planes to scare them. And then, let's see. Non-creature artifact, non-creature enchantment. Okay. Yeah, I don't mind offering the trade. Now let's get back our Revenant. Play our Revenant, trigger the Steel Seeker again. And yeah, we want to leave that on top. As such, I don't think I'm going to bother playing out the Might this turn, since we already know that the card on top is something we want. That's fine, I'll take my 4. Keeper of the Cadence, okay. Oh, they have a way to exile graveyards now, so probably time to start getting value then. Draw, draw. So this could come down to decking, I guess. Yeah, but I'm going to keep drawing since they have their Keeper of their Cadence anyways. Yeah, I really think we need to add that flying equipment from the sideboard. That looks good. So does the Dreams of Steel and Oil versus them. What else would be fine here? I guess the Crushers, number 2 is not garbage. Wait, are they targeting my graveyard? Why are they targeting... What on earth? They're scared of me? Okay. Well, that's interesting. Oh, they're turning off my Gaia's Courser. Right. That makes sense. I see. Well, I guess we have a free attack with the Revenant. Either they take 1 damage or I get to re-trigger my Steel Seeker. So I'm okay with that. Oh, that we leave on top. Okay. Evangel of Synthesis, that's a good one. So what happens when it draws a card? As long as you've drawn 2 or more cards this turn, it gets +1/+1 as Menace. Okay. Well, only 1 card left in their hand. Huh, this is a weird grindy game. Yeah, it looks like they're just eating all of my graveyard. But that just means they're gonna deck out before I do. And I am here for that. All right, Spider again. Sack Revenant. Target your Keeper of Cadence. If they target my Revenant in response, they didn't. They targeted their Gix's command. Oh, that makes sense. I don't really have a good attack. Guess we'll just do the Revenant, replay it, trigger the Steel Seeker again. And we would like to leave that one on top. And then we can activate the Butcher, start draining them for 2, or I guess it's just a ping, isn't it? Make them lose 2 life. Okay. What do you have? Weak Stone's Subjugation to lock down my Revenant. Gotcha. Well, we can kill that with the Might if we want to. At some point. That doesn't really matter though, right? All right, let's attack. Yeah, let's attack with both of these. All right, well, they're only putting, oddly, 4 power on my 4/5, so I guess that was a whoopsie on their part. I'm actually not going to gain the life. I think the 1 extra creature in my graveyard is more valuable. Because now what I can do is Might, kill the Subjugation, and then I start drawing a card with Courser when it attacks. Unless they want to get back their Harvester this turn. Alright, they drew another War Plow. It kind of sucks. But we're definitely still winning this game, and I think we have some good removal left to draw. Oh, that's a nice one too. Indestructible? Hell yeah. So now we get to attack with our Courser. It draws us the card. They block with their 5/4. We get to give our creature Reach, Trample, Hexproof, Indestructible. Poke them for 1 trample damage. Land, pass. I guess I should still be attacking with my Clay Revenant. It's a free 1 damage. Ping them for 2. It's also a good draw. All right, we are getting the juice. The juice is loose. I don't even think we play anything out. I don't think I bother killing the Evangel since that's one of our targets for Go for the Throat. All right, nice. Little grind out game there. So, Wings probably wants to come in. Lantern, probably not awful. What else? Like I was saying earlier, like just bringing in these random 2-drops and 3-drops to sack to Spider could be okay, but I guess that game was fine. Oh, the Flyer seemed pretty good. So did the Dreams of Oil. What didn't look necessary? Probably don't need this intervention, although I do think it is good in our deck. The Might, probably not necessary. I guess the Locust is probably the least relevant. We definitely want to bring in the Wings, if nothing else. Lantern or Dreams? I guess Lantern probably seems a little bit better. Rager was kind of filler. Maybe Rager is worse than the Flyer, because this also exiles a card from their graveyard too. We'll just go like that. Seems fine. Okay, game 2. Not a very exciting hand, but I think it's a hand you keep. We have our 1 Clay Revenant, so that means we have 4 Spiders in the deck to draw. Ooh, that was a good draw. Okay. So now instead of playing the Revenant on turn 1, we're going to wait and hold it for the Steel Seeker trigger. Yeah, I got to play it out. There's a little bit of merit, but we didn't see a disfigure to like, oh, they had Go for the Throat, to waiting till I could also play out the Revenant in the same turn. But since we drew the Caress, I think that just makes sense. So now we go Caress, make a Power Stone, look at their hand. Curate in response, sure. All right, Bin to Swamp. And they have a bunch of moles. Okay. Well, I guess let's take one of the moles. Those give them the most value. So 2 lands, Skullflare, Gigamole in hand. Mill the Locust, Tome, and an Island. They did get back their Flyer. That's fine. Let's see. I mean, we're 2 mana away from casting this out as a 6/5, but I think we can turn on the gas with what we have in our hand if I play it out right now. I don't really care if they play out the Flyer or whatever. All right, they played everything we know about. So I should be able to Confrontation here, no problem. Great, and then I can attack for 4. All right. So they have that Flyer and a couple unknowns. There's one of them. So we can go 1, 2, 3, 4. Spider. Sack Revenant. Kill their 5/4 Death Toucher. And then the Power Stone can still be used to bring back our Revenant. So even though we know they have that Flyer that can exile, they won't be able to exile the Revenant. And then Overwhelming Remorse for the next fatty. And yeah, this pressure might be enough. They are reanimating their 5/4. Okay, that's okay. I can just exile that next instead. And I guess I'm supposed to play out the land. In case they kill my 1/2, I can immediately bring it back. I mean, I'm hellbent now, so I need to draw a little bit more action, but we are looking okay for the moment. See, we have 3 more spiders we can draw. They drew their Gix's Caress. What are the modes are they choosing? So it's going to be a 4/5 lifelink, and then I sacrifice one of my creatures. That's too bad. Sacrifice one of my 3-power creatures here. So they're going to go back up to 11. I guess we sacrifice the Golem? Since the spider has reach, can block their flyer later on. I'm back to 11, I'm down to 19. Hit them for 4, they go back down to a 7. And we bricked on the draw step, so bleh, not good. Yeah, drawing any action there was really what we needed. Ugh. Ooh, they're attacking. Okay, they must have drawn like their 2/5 or something. Bring back their mole to their hand. Recast the mole. But too much value. Two lands and removal spell milled. Okay. Well, this is turning into booty. I mean, at least the Revenant can block every turn, so we're not taking too much damage. But, yeah. I guess the big question is, do I want to double block? I don't think so yet. I think we're just going to chump one turn, take 3, go to 12, bring back our Revenant. Because if we draw our 4/6, we want to have 2 other creatures, so I don't want to sack off the spider just yet. Plus, we knew they had the flyer in hand, yeah. Oh, they had 2 locusts. Okay. So I'm going to go down to 10. Yeah, I need to top deck something now. They've just drawn way too many more spells than I have. Okay, I mean, that's a start, kind of. Not really. So you're going to exile their Gix's Command, I guess, so they can't rebuy that later. There's only 1 creature in their graveyard, so... Oh, I kind of forgot that this entered tapped. Whoops. Maybe I should have double blocked the 3/4 last turn. Jeez, this card's a bomb. 6 mana, 5/4 flying. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature you control gains your choice of flying, vigilance, or lifelink. And then has a prototype of 3 mana. Okay, well, I mean, just look at the spells drawn, and that tells you the game. So I'm going to go block, block. keep my spider alive, take 7, go to 3. They're going to gain 4, go to 11. And that technically keeps me alive, but all right. So, what did we learn there? Draw better, I guess? I don't think there's too much for me to sideboard. I do want to note, though, or keep inventory of, I guess you could say, that they do have 2 of the locusts. So I don't want to be leaving my Revenant in the graveyard too long without being able to bring it back. Yeah, let's just run it back. Hopefully we can draw a little bit better. And that hand looks fine to me. Is this a turn 1 Revenant game? I guess it's okay too, because even if I draw my 1 of Steel Seeker next turn, I have the Goring Plow that I can play on 3 anyways to trigger it. And this can probably poke in for a little bit of damage. That's a good draw. Alright, I guess we'll just curve out. Actually, I guess that's not a good draw, is it? It's a 3-mana 1/4 for a long time. Ashnod's Harvester. Annoying. Hey, that was in fact a very good draw. Okay. But it still just makes sense to run out the Butcher since I don't actually have a use for the Power Stone, and Opportunist just trades with their Harvester anyways. That looks like a pretty easy disfigure target. Ooh, it's a good draw too. Yeah, we can take a turn off. No rush. Probably should be poking in for 1 Death Touch and attacking before I play my spells, but oh well. So if I draw another Swamp, I can like disfigure their Harvester and then eat their Harvester from their graveyard in addition to 1 card from their hand. No attack for 2 in the air is kind of strange. Okay, good. So now we can Dreams. There goes Steel Seraph. Oh man, they have a very good hand. Sheesh. Alright, well we exile the Seraph and then we exile... I guess we'd rather exile the Harvester. Gross though. Very gross hand. Yeah, that's going to be hard to beat. That's going to be super hard for us to beat. And they have Koilos Rock this turn if they want to. Well, good news is, if they do block with the rock here, we get to disfigure it. Works for me. But they still have 2 different removal spells in their hand. Alright, there's the mole. Milled Warplow, Skullflare, and a land. I imagine they're probably going to bring back their Warplow. Indeed, okay. I think they probably want to go for Throat my... Oh, they didn't want to. Okay, strange. Figured for sure they would go for the Throat my Butcher and then get in for 1 extra damage from the Prowess. Not great, not great. Alright, there's the go for the Throat. Go ahead and hit them for 2. So they have the 5/4 Death Touch and Overwhelming Remorse plus 1 unknown. So I think we're just dead. Yeah. Maybe if I draw Spider this turn, we could have a chance. No. Alright, that'll probably do it. Play out my Courser, but that's going to be it, most likely. Dang. Oh, they had a lot of good synergy. But feels like our draws kind of just felt lackluster. I imagine they're just going to immediately remorse my... Yeah. Okay. And they still have the... What in hand? Curate for another trigger, so I'm taking minimum 6 here. Taking 7 now. Sheesh. So block here, take 7, go to 5. And then our out is drawing exactly Spider. And that's not going to do it. It would have been good in a different scenario of this match. That's too bad. I think our deck is good. Their deck was good too. But the draws just didn't line up well for us. So GG's, on to round 2. Okay, here we are for round 2 of this Brothers War draft. We are on the play here. Yikes. And don't think we can keep that hand. Even though we have a 2-mana removal spell, that's just way too many mana sources. Yeah, this looks much better here. What are we gonna pitch? I think the Revenant's too good when we have 4 spiders. And I want to keep the Golem. I guess I could get a little bit greedy and pitch a land, because if we hit another land, we still have Caress into Golem, so let's do that. So I'm not going to play the Revenant out turn 1 in case we do draw, again, that Steel Seeker. Okay, yeah, still going to wait. Land next turn is ideal here. Perfect. Let's take a look at what's going on. Yikes. Well, they don't have a 3rd land themselves, so that's a plus. But I think we... I mean, the Engineers can make a Power Stone, but the Talisman's probably more annoying. What is this, a 3/2 haste if they want it to be? Yeah, I think we take the Talisman. Yucky. Did they get there? They bricked, but they did draw Chromatic Star. Okay. I think what I like doing here is playing out the Golem and holding up Ashnod's Intervention, because if they somehow kill this, we can bring it back as a 6/5. That seems insane. Oh, they found their 3rd land. Yeah, there's the Arbalist. Presumably that's going to make a Power Stone as well. Yeah. I mean, they have a lot more action in their hand than I do, so can't say I'm particularly confident here. Alright, so they're going to cast Dissident, I guess. And we're going to go for the Throat that. Yeah. So they have Retrieval, Courser, Automaton, Spider, and I bricked. Oh, not good. Once again, we just have drawn far fewer spells than our opponent has. Yeah, and they've just ripped the lands that they needed. Man, we took a peek at their hand. They had garbage. And now we are dying. Badly. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. That's nice. So we do get to draw a card here. They're probably going to Skyfisher the Dispenser, sacking their Engineers. And then we get to Intervention to bring back our Dispenser. Okay. Okay, we have a chance. We have a chance. That had to be one of our best draws, if not our best draw. Yeah, there's the filter for black. Here comes the Spider. So Spider resolves. You wait for them to sack their creature. Oh, you know what I could do? Oh, I messed up. I messed up. I needed to play out my land. If I disfigure this in response, they would have to sack their Courser. Oh, no. What a huge mistake on my part. Yeah, I just have to let them sacrifice their 2/2 now. Damn, what a huge mistake on my part. Oh, this is to my hand. Why did I think this was going to go right back to the battlefield? Never mind. Ooh, drew the white source. Yeah, that was a huge mistake, though, for me not to have ran out the stupid Disfigure. Really bad play. Okay. Sorry, the second Swamp. Can you imagine if they decided to sack their Courser and I still just bring... Like, it would have traded Disfigure for their 4/5. Sheesh. Well, maybe they don't have any more removal for it. They have Automaton, they have Retrieval Unit, and they have 3 unknown. I mean, that's a lot of unknowns. These prototype cards are... I don't like how the art on them gets completely messed up. Boulder Branch Golem is green. Okay, played a land. Hopefully it's just Automaton here. And not another removal spell. Oh, that's fine too. Actually, that's a little bit scary. If they're playing out their 2/3, they want the mana for some reason. Okay. Yeah, I mean, another turn with the Dispenser is another turn that we're drawing extra cards and making tokens, so... Can't complain there. We're not even winning, though. We are, but we aren't. Alright, there's the 6/4. That's fine. We have good double blocks if they want to attack with that, so I do not mind. Good. Poop out a free token. Nice. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this seems good. Play it out. Spider their Courser. Draw an extra card. Okay, good match. Oh no, they conceded the whole match? Oh no! Okay. Well, I guess they were off of it. Their deck didn't even look that bad. It was just lots of colors. All right, well, we're 1-1 now. Let's try to get one more match and pull off a 2-1. This dispenser is nice. Okay, here we are for round number 3, the third and final round of this Brothers War draft. We are on the draw, and our hand looks fantastic. Turn 2 Steel Seeker into turn 3 Caress, make a Power Stone. Seems like the ideal curve in this deck. Maybe we play Butcher turn 3 if the opponent goes a little bit too aggressive, but hey, I'm liking this a lot. I think people are going to quickly come to realize the power of the Steel Seeker. Like, we've seen this type of card before. Not exactly word for word, of course, but there have been a ton of 2-drops in Magic's history like this, where, you know, when you cast an instant or sorcery, you look at the top 3, like Quandrix Mage or whatever it was called. Quandrix Apprentice, something like that. Then there's like, what's it called? Dryad Green Seeker type of cards. There was also, I think there was another one not too long ago that did something really similar, but in any case, they've all been very, very good and limited, especially for 2-drops. Our opponent looks to be on the red-green aggro plan over here. Yes, okay, I am getting beat down very quickly, so... If I cast Gix's Caress and not the Butcher, am I taking too much damage? Maybe? But I think it's probably better still just to Caress here and see what they have. Oh yeah, they have like a Bolt. Okay. Well, glad I did that. Get the Power Stone, get the Scry. 3 mana 3/2 here is not terrible. Also makes another Power Stone. I think we can probably leave that on top, and then the game plan here would be to play the 2/5 next turn, and then maybe on turn 6 play double 3-drop. So I'm taking 6 here. I go to 12 since they drew a forest. That's kind of unlucky. All right, drew a card. So I cannot block the Sprite with the Crusher, notably. And they're going to ship it all in. I wonder if they're going to make this a 5/3. Okay, if they do, we will double block that for sure. That's fine. I'm at 8. Hopefully they just play out this 2/1. Ah, they drew another patrol. Sheesh, okay. Ooh, that is a really solid draw step. That is a 5/4 Death Touch. Is that... Oh, I guess I can't play both of these, can I? Because those are artifacts. Well, you know what I could do? I could play this and then another. But I feel... Well, let's see. Yeah, no, it makes more sense to play out the Opportunist here, doesn't it? And then just play this out as a 1/1 Death Toucher. Intervention is a certain keep on top. Kind of losing value, but oh well, what are you going to do? We are stabilizing is the plan. Okay, there's their Scrapsmith finally. They milled 3 cards, and none of them were artifacts. Is this a good attack? For us, I guess, yeah. Trade, take 2, okay. Let's see. I guess what we're doing here is playing Spider, sacking and killing their 3/2. And then having intervention open for the Spider. Although if the Spider dies, I could gain 4 life or whatever it is instead. So they need to get up to 7 mana to use the Firebomb or the Sprite activation, so yeah, looks like we've stabilized. Well, another good draw. Alright, run out the Butcher. We can start pinging them for 2 just by tapping 1 mana. Need to start attacking, I think. Don't want to give them too much time. Obstinate Baloth, okay. So they have 2 more spells in their hand? That's the scary thing. This is where I need that damn 1-drop to keep sacrificing, huh. So this doesn't combo. This reads when this dies or is put into exile from the battlefield, not exile from the graveyard. Because you're supposed to do this on unearthed creatures. I'm wondering, do I want to... I guess I'm going to Spider my Spider and gain 4 life. Kill their Baloth. That seems fine. We can hold the Ashnod's Intervention as a trick instead. Alright, 4 mana 3/3 we don't care about since we have a 1/4 blocker and a 3/3 anyways. So I don't think we're going to run out this Spider. I think we're just going to go land pass. Especially since we gained a bunch of life last turn back anyway. So that's a 5 mana 4/4 Trampler. Alright. Might be time to run out another Spider. Oh, that's good. That makes playing out the Spider a lot less necessary, but still safe. Yeah, I guess we'll do that. Well, I think actually what I'm going to do here is attack with the Spider. See if they block. And then pump it up for 5 damage. Then play out the other Spider again. And kill their Exemplar this time. So don't exile, return it to my hand, kill their creature. Beautiful. We're probably just going to end up disfiguring that Argothian Sprite, but I can wait until they get to 7 mana and blow them out for 1 mana, you know? Well, opponent is off it, so I will take that. They are tired of my Spiders. I don't know how we got 4 of these. I don't think that's going to be something that happens very frequently the later the format goes on. But I am missing, like, we would probably want to run, well, ideally what this deck had was more graveyard-centric theme, right? Where these Gigamoles would be good. And then we would have, like, 2 or 3 Clay Revenants, because they would actually be a lot of value, since we have 4 Skyfishers and all the graveyard value. But anyways, with the opponent being on red-white aggro, these 2-mana 3/1s with ward actually are looking pretty juicy. Intervention was good, but I don't think it's good enough here. Giant Growth is probably surprisingly good. What can I cut? Maybe once again cut the Rager. All right, let's do that. Go to game 2 here of the third and final round. That is a mulligan, right? We need to find a swamp. Yeah, we can do better on 6. That is better. Okay. Keep that. Pitch an extra forest. Turn to Honor Guard. Probably trades with anything early that they play. Got a Spider in hand. Remorse in hand's great. I'm much happier with Ward being a thing for Magic than Hexproof, let me tell ya. Turn 2, no pressure. I like that. I mean, don't get me wrong. Ward can still be extremely annoying. Like, playing a 5/5 with Ward 3 on turn 5 is still really gross, but at least it's beatable. They played the Automaton as a 3/2. I'm happy to trade. That makes our Remorse cost 1 less. Well, now I wish I didn't trade, but can't know that you're going to draw Disfigure. It's weird. It's not very strong or anything, but that Automaton, that 1-mana 1/2 that recurs, is so good in our deck. I think we just exile that thing. Unless I draw the Automaton or whatever. Yeah, let's just get rid of that. It's a 2/5 that pumps itself to a 4/5 attacker. Because there's that green hexproof trick in the format, I just want to do it now. There might be merit in just to running out the spiders, a 3/3. They have another blech. Oh, that's good. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna go for Giant Growth here. Obstinate Baloth, you got it. All right, we'll block, we'll growth. 2 cards left in their hand. And now we will take a peek. What's going on in there, friend? 2 lands! Okay, I like that. You know, if they draw a land this turn, and Disfigure on Baloth works, I bet you they concede. We'll see, though. So I want to do this before blocks in case they do have hexproof. Okay, they didn't. Might see a concede here. Oh, maybe not. We are not going to run out the spider. Go for the Throat was a fantastic draw, but there are too many big artifact creatures for me to reliably, comfortably run out the spider. Feels bad for our opponent. Looks like they're drawing the ratios that I was getting in some of our other games. Just a bunch of lands, not enough spells. I will say I am a little bit, or pleasantly surprised, I guess is this phrase, that there weren't too many nasty retro-framed cards that just ruined the games. Because there are are some scary ones in the format, but there are bombs in every limited format, so. Ooh, speaking of bombs, this card is nuts. And we drew a beautiful card. All right. I will show that card off in a second, right after I blow it up with my spider. So it's a 3-mana 2/1 that when it enters the battlefield puts 2 1/1 counters on a creature. So it can enter as a 3-mana 4/3 if you want to. And then it has an Earth. So you can do it again, either for pushing big damage or once again growing another creature. It's just a lot of value for 3 mana. Actually, I don't know why I used Spider on that. That was bad. It only had 3 toughness. Because now if they play like another Crusher, I don't have a good way to deal with it. It looks like they just blew up my Spider. Yeah, I exile it, gain 2, might as well. We do have 3 more Spiders in the deck to draw, but I'm probably due for some land here. The Might. Alright, cast the Might. Bring back the Revenant. Cast the Revenant. Realize I didn't hold up green for the Might because I'm bad. Not that I want to blow up either of these, but definitely a mistap. This is another really, really good card. Especially if you have it on turn 3 to kill a creature and make a Power Stone. And then ramp into a, you know, one of those artifact fatties. It's just so good. Yeah, land number 9 for the opponent kind of feels bad for them. I guess they are a couple cards deeper in their deck, but still. Clearly they are flooding out more than I am. Land 10. Oof. Oh! Well, sorry, buddy. You might have a lot of mana for that, but we have the perfect removal card as the last. And it doesn't matter if you put counters on that. Well, I'm not going to say this game was very skillful as we just drew a lot better than the opponent did, but hey. Sometimes that's the way Magic goes, baby. So they fall to 5. They're going to need a pretty impressive top deck here to get out of this one. And they're not going to get there. All right, nice little 2-1. We did get beat in the first round, but hey, not bad for my first deck if we can take a peek. Well, first deck here on Magic Online. Nice green-black. I mean, 4 Skyfisher Spiders was nuts. The Platoon Dispenser was crazy good. Steel Seeker did a lot of work. Fun little stuff. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button here on the Card Kingdom YouTube channel. And you can always go to cardkingdom.com/Numot for all of your Magic card-related needs. Even Brothers War. Hey, hey. We'll see you back next week. Bye-bye.